Domestic Oil Usage and Hydrogen Car Production by Adnan Razel, Alex Perry, Ashton Brooker, and Zach Haynes.
21 million barrels is the number of oil consumed by the U.S. alone every single day. 11 million barrels is the amount of imported oil consumed by the U.S. every day. And 10 million barrels is the amount of oil imported by the U.S. every single day. The U.S. also consumes 146 billion gallons of gasoline every single year. Iraq holds more than 112 billion barrels of oil. In Texas alone, 1 million wells have been drilled, but in Iraq there have only been 2,000 wells drilled. 423,000 barrels in 1996. Today, U.S. import more than 22,634,000 barrels. Approximately 42% of the oil we use is domestic oil, and the other 58% is oil that is imported from other countries. We import over 10 million foreign oil barrels each day. Canada, Mexico, and Saudi Arabia are the top 3 suppliers of foreign oil to the United States.
We would have to discover a new Saudi Arabia every 10 years to meet oil demand. Think about that. A new Saudi Arabia every 10 years? That's not gonna happen. It simply ain't gonna happen.
Today we're seeing the creation of a brand new DNA for the automobile.
By the time of 2030, we'll have had a paradigm shift in the entire construction of the automobile.
I know that we are witnessing a convergence of revolutionary technologies.
Look down the highway, and you'll see the cars of the future. They are unlike anything you've driven before. They are unlike anything you've seen before. High-performance electric sports cars. Fuel made from water. And the propulsive power of air. How cars think and how they will be fueled will challenge everything you believe an automobile to be.
Thanks to electrical cars and new technology, we are now able to travel 250 miles using one overnight charge. This will only cost the same amount of money as an electricity charge. This will also lower the consumption of oil to a sustainable amount that can be produced domestically. The United States will be able to break bonds from our current oil supporters around the world. Hydrogen cars will create a powerful car that runs without any oil and does not create environmental impacts. The hydrogen vehicle has the ability to transport the consumer. Hydrogen is created by separating oxygen and hydrogen in a process called electrolysis.
We propose to begin oil digging and tapping in 2 different regions of the United States, the Green River Formation in Colorado and the Bakken Formation in North Dakota.
The Green River Formation in Colorado has more potential oil than Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, Venezuela, Nigeria, Kuwait, Libya, Angola, Indonesia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates combined. The Green River Formation has an estimated 1.2 to 1.8 trillion barrels, all of which are untapped and in an oil shale form. Oil shale is just like oil, but the only difference is it must go through a process called retorting before it can be used like normal oil. This process involves heating the oil shale to any temperature above 700 degrees Fahrenheit in order to break the bonds apart and change it into a liquid form in which it can be tapped like normal oil. Approximately 70 to 80% of the land covering these oil shales is already government-owned, meaning the government has already taken control and access over these oil shale reserves. The RAND Corporation estimates a potential of 3 million barrels per day of producing or tapping, saving the government $20 billion a year. The United States Department of Energy, or DOE, estimated a potential production of 10 million barrels per day, or $66+ billion saved per year. The Energy Policy Act of 2005 began oil tapping tests on the Green River Formation, but after 3 years has still not advanced from the testing stage.
Using new horizontal oil drilling, it is estimated to cost $90 per barrel, including employment and shipping costs to tap. And with 200 billion barrels available to the United States, we will save $18 trillion by having no increased prices through importing, as well as cheaper tapping itself and direct savings from the land being government-owned.
There have been many propositions made and ideas suggested with the sole purpose of decreasing the United States' reliance on imported oil. However, the propositions that have advanced, such as the miles per gallon requirements, have only resulted in decreased oil consumption rather than a complete diminishment of foreign oil reliance. Many of the previous ideas and proposals, such as Alaska drilling over an animal reserve, damage the environment in the process and have been in debate for over a decade and still have no final decision. Our proposals take similar ideas from both of these previous solutions, reducing oil consumption as well as using our own. However, there are no environmental problems or issues in our solution. By cutting down on the use of foreign oil, then the U.S. will be able to get out of national debt, become a cleaner country, and become a more independent country. The proposed solution will allow the U.S. to become independent of other countries, allowing us to control our own economy again, as well as set standards, caps, and limits freely, while lowering our own emissions, making the U.S. a much greater superpower than it already is.